Hello everybody, welcome back to TechKingGames once again, and today we're taking a look at my map, Deal or No Deal. Now, a couple days ago I came out with a release video of this where you guys could download it and play for yourself, and I kind of played through it myself to show you guys how it works. Now here I'm going to be taking a look at the mechanics of the game. So first let's show you guys what really runs the game. What really runs the game is objectives. And you'll see we have 36 different objectives. We've got one for each amount of money, and some other few things. So let's take a look at the start button here. When you press the start button, it's going to say a few things, which are not really important. It's going to reset all the players' scoreboards so that the game is as it was never been played. It's going to set playable to 1. Now basically playable is when you select a case, it's going to search and make sure that you have playable of 1. This is to ensure that if the game is in deal mode and you don't have any cases left, that you cannot select another case. It's going to set round, which is a back-end thing, to 1. This is going to be shown later. It's also going to set round sidebar, which is just a display, to be 1. So you guys can see. It'll say I'm your host. It'll set cases sidebar to 6, which is right here, just for show once again. It'll say select 6 cases to begin. Scoreboard players set and a case 0. This just counts the case number they're on, how many cases they have opened, and this will set their money to 1.6 million. Now this keeps track of the banking system and how the banker makes his offers, which we'll get all into this more detailed in a little bit. So let's first start off with the cases. When you select a case here, what it's going to do is it's going to activate this command block, which is going to search for a player with playable of 1. Basically, this is, like I said, to make sure that you guys cannot open up another case while the game does not have any cases left for you in that round. If it's 1, then it allows you to go through, and it'll set your score of 1000k, which really we should have wrote as 1 mil, but we wrote 1000k just for the lulz, to 1. Then, over here, we've got a test for. It's searching for a player of a score of 1k to equal 1. Once that actually does happen, it'll output the signal in the comparator here. It's going to say 1 million, and then it's going to add to your score case 1. This just, as I said, keeps track of how many cases you're at, and it's going to turn off this light right here, which will turn off the lamp. That turns off this right here. It just says 1,000 or 1 million. So we press the button here. You'll see it'll actually. Let me go ahead and set my scoreboard here. Scoreboard. Players, COD 500, alright, players set, COD 500, 1000k, 1. You see, this will activate, it'll say 1 million, it'll add case 1, and it'll turn this off. Now, as far as what we do with the case, actually, let me show you guys here real quick. All these are doing is it's just going to search for it to equal 1, actually, that's extra. Here, 200. It's just going to search for P1. Once it is 1, this will go on, which will turn this torch off. Turn this torch on. Turn this torch off, which will turn off the light. And that's pretty much all that is. Now, as far as the case additions, this is keeping track of what case you're on. If you're on case number 1, it's going to say 5 cases remaining in round 1, and it'll set cases on sideboard of 5. If you're on case number 2, it'll say 4 cases, and it'll set that to 4, 3, with 3, looking for 4, set it to 2, etc. So we go ahead and we set here, scoreboard players, set, COD 500, case 2. You'll see this one will turn on and this one will turn off. It'll say 4 cases remaining in round 1, and it'll set the sidebar to equal 4. And it does this all the way down the row. Once the round is finished, which this is case number 6, which is round 1, it's going to do all of this, which we'll look at in a second here. The other thing I want to look at is basically this is the same thing that is happening behind the board, which right there, that thing. However, this one just is doing some extra commands, such as playing the sound based on which one you press. If you press a good one, which didn't make you lose very badly, it'll play the good sound, and this one will make it play the bad sound. Now, depending on which button you press, you're going to lose a different amount of money. If you press the button for 1 cent, you only lose $1. If you press the one for 1 million, you're going to lose 500,000. Now, this was the money that we set earlier in the game right here. We'll take a look at that in a second. Now, if we go back to the rounds here, I know I'm kind of jumping around everywhere, and please bear with me. If we go back to the end of the round here, it'll say round 1 complete. It's going to set cases in sidebar to equal 0. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumbling over my words today, but it's going to set sidebar to equal 0 so that it doesn't display it. It's going to say please don't open any more cases until told to do so. It'll say the banker is making his offer. It's going to set playable to 0, which basically means that they cannot press a button, because remember, that is searching for a player with playable to equal 1. And it's going to set banker to equal 1. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what banker does. Basically, what these are here is the offer making stations. Now what these command blocks are doing here is looking for a player with banker to equal 1, which basically means that it's time to make a deal with a banker. And it's looking for a certain amount of money from each of these is looking for a certain amount of money. This is looking for a minimum of 1.5 mil. This one's looking for different, etc. down the row. Once I set banker to equal 0, so if we see here, set banker 1, you'll see, what just happened here? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Right here, these will go down. Basically, these are going to randomize it whenever they randomly will go off every couple seconds here. And the first one to go off is the one that's going to activate. When it does activate, it's going to set banker to equal 0, so these pull up. It's going to say the banker has an offer for you, and it's going to give you a random number just based on whatever one it actually got activated first. Then it'll say, will it be deal or no deal? And it's going to set deal time to equal 1. Now, deal time is another scoreboard objective that we use. And deal time basically is searching for a player who is able to make a deal. So when you hit no deal or deal, it's going to look for a player who has deal time of 1. If they do, it'll set their deal to equal 1, or it'll set their no deal to equal 1. These are looking for a player with deal to equal 1. If it does, these will go off. It'll say deal, it'll say you've earned the money banker did above. This one's looking for no deal to equal 1. It'll add your round to equal, so it's like 2, 3, 4. It'll set playable to 1, so you can then again press cases. It's going to say no deal, and then it's going to add round 1. I think I already said that. Yeah, oh, it's going to add your round in the background, which I'll show you what it does in a second here. It's going to set deal time to 0, so you can no longer press the buttons. It's going to put no deal to 0, and it's going to put deal to 0. Now, as far as this one goes, this is the back end one, not this one. This is basically looking for the round, and what's back here, right there, is basically, this is looking for the round equal 2. If the round equals 2, it'll say round 2 beginning, and it'll set sidebar to equal 5. It'll say round 3 now beginning, open 4 cases. It's going to settle that. And that's basically how the game works as best as I can, and I'm sorry if I was kind of mumbling or whatever. I kind of been talking a little bit recently, so I did, I believe, sound kind of mumbled or weird, but I apologize, and I hope I explained it to you guys as best as I possibly can. And I'm sorry if there was something you didn't understand. Ask me a question about it in the comments, and I'll try to explain it to you guys. So, if you guys want to check out me playing the game, just to kind of show you guys how it works, check out the link in the annotation right around here. And anyways, if you want to download it, the link will be in the description box below. I'm really doing wrong with my S's, I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe to the video. And that's pretty much it. So, bye.